Welcome to the Football Garbage Time NFL podcast. My name is Hakun Wong, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Football Garbage Time, and I am here to give you a quick update. We've been gone for a minute, and we will be back to full episodes once we get into the preseason. But in the meantime, a lot has happened. I hope you all had a great Memorial Day weekend, and thank you for all of those who served. And speaking of serving, we all saw that Patriots wide receiver Stephon Diggs, who's currently dating Cardi B, was spotted serving it up on a yacht off the coast of Miami to literally every woman on the boat except for Cardi B. Is this a problem? I don't know, but we do know that Stephon Diggs back at OTAs without a knee brace. So good news? I don't know. Shades of Antonio Brown. We'll see. We got lots to talk about today. We're going to briefly update you on OTAs. We're going to briefly update you on some power rankings and some free agency issues late in the season. Let's go ahead and get rolling on this one. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about OTAs real quick. There's 25 teams have started as of today. The remainder will be starting soon. Remember, these are voluntary workouts, so you don't have to show, but it's good form to show. And there are three significant no-shows that we've seen today so far. That's James Cook, the running back out of Buffalo, and Kirk Cousins, the quarterback out of the Atlanta Falcons, and Kyle Pitts, the tight end out of the Atlanta Falcons as well. Are they significant? We don't know. James Cook is looking for a new deal as he enters the final year of his rookie contract. He wants $15 million a year, making the third, fourth, fifth largest paid, highest paid running back in the NFL if he gets it. Probably worth it as he brought the Buffalo Bills from the bottom 10 to the top 10 in terms of rushing yards per game in the 2024 season. We'll see what happens with James Cook. We'll see. We'll monitor that as we continue into OTAs and into offseason workouts and into the preseason. Kirk Cousins is an interesting story. Obviously benched now for sophomore Michael Penix Jr. He has an existing a ginormous contract, $27.5 million base contract left with a $40 million cap hit and $75 million in dead cap value. So it's going to be tough to unload, but he's not showing up to OTAs. And hey, guys, what about Pittsburgh? They haven't signed anybody yet of any consequence, and Aaron Rodgers isn't getting any younger or any better. So who knows? But something to keep an eye on what happens with Kirk Cousins out of Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, that's my WTF of the season. What are you holding out for, man? Take your last rookie contract season pay of 10.78 million, cash it and feel lucky. You have done nothing to deserve a holdout of any kind. But we'll see what happens there with Kyle Pitts as well. Moving right along to our current power rankings now that OTAs have started. So this is post-draft and into the OTAs. I'll give you mine now. We'll get the rest from the rest of the crew later. But right now, my top five are the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Detroit Lions, and the Washington Commanders. All those guys are all set in terms of offense and defense, as far as I see it, in order to make a big run. Of course, the Detroit Lions dealing with losing both of their offensive and defensive coordinators. Will be interesting to see how they recover from that. And the Commanders taking big steps forward, I think, on defense, but we'll see what happens if Jaden Daniels can maintain the magic he had in his rookie season into his sophomore season. The Philadelphia Eagles obviously really didn't have to change much, and they don't have to change much. Plus, that brotherly shove survived the vote barely and will remain legal this season, which means automatic first downs on 4th and 1 and 3rd and 1 for the Philadelphia Eagles, meaning good things for them into the future. My bottom 10, rounding it all out here, at 28, I have the New York Jets. Then I have the Tennessee Titans at 29, Cleveland Browns at 30, the New York Giants at 31, and the New Orleans Saints bottoming out at 32. Both Empire State teams, New York Jets, New York Giants, having a problem. Polar opposites of the Buffalo Bills, who are from the north. And it's because of their quarterback. Of course, the New York Jets are starting Justin Fields. Listen, I'm a big Justin Fields apologist all the way through, being a Bears fan that actually lived through the draft and all the high expectations. But let's temper it there. There's not much else going on with the Jets, and we'll see if he can turn it around in New York. Not many the New York Jets so far, not even Aaron Rodgers. So I'm not feeling optimistic. The New York Giants, well, I don't know what they're doing, but they got Russell Wilson, they got Jameis Winston, and then they have Jackson Dart, who they just drafted. And of course, they got Tommy DeVito, fan favorite Tommy DeVito there as well to pick up the pieces once everyone gets benched, because they probably will be sometime throughout this season. So that's why they're down there at 31. And New Orleans Saints, of course, Derek Carr with his really mysterious exit. Be interesting to see what happens there with the New Orleans Saints. They do have one of the easier schedules, but that's not going to be everything. Going to have an offense to score, and I'm not sure what we're looking at this point, which is why they bottom out at 32. Let's talk a little bit about best available free agents and where they stand right now. Right now, I'm looking at a couple wide receivers and a running back and a quarterback whose name shall not be mentioned until we get to that part of the show, at least. Keenan Allen is the wide receiver I have my eye on. Of course, he had a dynamic year at 33 years old with Chicago. He's still a really good route runner, and he's still really good for quarterbacks who need to find targets, particularly in those teams that need a top 3 or 4 target as opposed to a 1 and 2 target. And that would mean the Arizona Cardinals to me. Obviously, Kyler Murray has been okay, but they have Trey McBride and they have Marvin Harrison Jr. entering his sophomore season. So, those 2 targets are going to stay there. There'll also be Zay Jones and Michael Wilson there. But I think Keenan Allen would be a great third target for Kyler Murray in order to try to build on something there with the Arizona Cardinals. So this we'll see what happens. Of course, he's also got to stay healthy. He did miss 2 games last year with a heel injury. Amari Cooper is the other wide receiver I have my eyes on. Of course, yes, he is also looking at 30 years old, and we all have that idea that wide receivers in their 30s tend to fall off a cliff. But hey, listen, there are examples of wide receivers who have been productive in their 30s, like Randy Moss, for instance. Have you heard of that guy? Had probably one of his best seasons when he was 32. So Keenan Allen there going 33, Amari Cooper at 30. Hey, where does he fit? Maybe it's those New York Jets. Listen, I don't think there's a lot going on there. They got Garrett Wilson at number 1, but after that, you got Alan Lazard and Josh Reynolds. I'm not sure that is significant depth there, particularly for Justin Fields. He's going to have to find some additional targets to play in play action, and that's going to be tough to do with this type of the season. Amari Cooper might be that guy. He can be good. It's been a bit. It's been a bit since he's been really productive, but he did have 9 full seasons where he topped 1,000 yards receiving. So, there is some potential there for Amari Cooper. Then there's J.K. Dobbins, the running back. Of course, there's a question mark as to who and where he will fit. And of course, he is coming off an injury. He did miss 4 games with MCL sprain last season, still managed career high in rushing yards of 905 and tied a career high in rushing touchdowns. We'll see if that continues to be an issue for him or he continues to be able to generate positive yards on early downs. Washington Commanders may be a good spot for him, as pairing him with Brian Robinson may be a good deal. Keep Brian Robinson a little bit healthy and maybe get those tough between the tackles yards. So maybe Washington Commanders for J.K. Dobbins. And of course, Aaron Rodgers, who everyone is looking at right now. Does anyone care anymore? Pittsburgh Steelers are his only choice. The Steelers have been sitting on it for a long ass time. I don't know what's going to happen here. I suspect that he will get drafted, and if so, I mean, he will get signed, drafted. Geez, where am I? 1990. He's going to get signed, and DK Metcalf will benefit from that. He's not going to be very mobile anymore. He doesn't extend those he doesn't extend those plays anymore. But I think he will be a solid pocket passer there that can really elevate the Pittsburgh Steelers. Without him, they don't have really any options in that QB room. So keep your eyes on Aaron Rodgers. He's going to maintain his free agent status as long as he can, but I don't think it's going to matter that much. And that brings us to the end. So let's go ahead and hit the air horn on the show. I am, again, Hakun Wong. I'm the editor-in-chief of Football Garbage Time. We're going to go to full episodes soon as we get into the preseason. I wanted to give you this update here. You can, in the meantime, follow me on social media at X/Twitter at FB Garbage Time. You can find me at the Football Garbage Time page on Facebook. And of course, you can follow me on Blue Sky and so on, so on and so forth. We'll keep you updated on all the things we're going to do. Until next time, and thank you for listening and wasting time with us. We will be back soon with full episodes. We'll get all the rest of the guys in here to discourse on all the crazy stuff that's going on in the NFL offseason. And until next time, enjoy your NFL week.